survivors, Rosanna again with MindShift Thrive Global Ministries. Another wonderful season. We are in season 2 of Community Leaders. Now, I want to introduce you to someone very special. Her name is Meisha Marshall, and she is the owner and founder of Renew Mindset Coaching. Meisha, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I want you to tell us a little bit about what you do, your why, and what the survivors need to know about this particular modality. Now, she is one of those people that love to serve on others, and she wants to see change and healthy relationships. So she works with couples, and there's a particular modality that she uses. Now, when I tell you modality, that means it's a certain type of psychological method. And we're going to talk about Christian beliefs towards the end. So I don't want you to put anybody or anything in a box. I want you to be open, and I want you to stretch your mind to the possibility. If this is for you, I want you to tap into that. So now let's begin with what you do and your why.
Yeah. So I am a neuro-linguistic programmer practitioner, master practitioner. And I basically, to simplify it, what that means is the neuro is the brain, how we process information, right? Linguistics is a language that we use. Mm-hmm. And the programming is all the beliefs that we've come to believe for ourselves as we've been growing up, right? And so with that modality, I'm able to help people understand why they behave a certain way, if it's serving them or not, and how we can shift them in an easier way to start changing the cycles that they have seen growing up. So I am a marriage coach, and I feel like one of your other guests said, it was really God that gave it to me, but I really do feel like I wouldn't have chosen this on my own. I felt like God chose this for me. And when he brought up being a marriage coach, at first I was a little like, me helping couples, right? It seems a bit scary because it's different when you're just working with one-on-one with somebody. Mm-hmm. But when you're bringing in somebody else's dynamics and energy and relationship dynamics, sometimes it can get heated. And I was worried about navigating that. That was part of it. The other piece that he spoke to my heart was helping adult children of divorced parents. And the more I dug into it, the more I understood why he led me there. A big piece was, that's me. It took me a minute, which is kind of weird. It took me a minute to be able to see and be like, oh, I'm an adult child of divorce. Yeah. And also, what I recognize is that we repeat those patterns as we grow and we have relationships. There's a lot of adult children of divorce that are, one, afraid to get married. Mm-hmm. And that can become complicated when you are a Christian and you want a family and also you haven't seen it done in a healthy way. Yeah. And two, aside from them struggling to even want to get married, there's this fear that even good people leave, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So regardless if they come from a healthy home or a home where it seemed perfect and they were like thrown this, right, new change in their lives, it turns their world upside down. Yeah. And security and trust and confidence and, self-worth gets wrapped up in all of that. And a lot of adult children of divorce don't see that for themselves because it becomes normalized. Right. Susie's parents got divorced, or, adults will say, you're resilient, it's fine, you'll be okay. Mm-hmm. But the truth is nobody's asking the child how they're adjusting. Nobody's helping the child understand their emotions. Right. And when they get married, they start avoiding, right? And so when their partner comes to them and they really need to have those deep conversations, they end up just simply running away. Right? And so I really have a heart for making sure that marriages stay together, that families stay together, and not just together like just surviving, but thriving as you use, right? Yeah. That they have healthy homes.
So one of the things that I was thinking about while you were saying that, from the survivor standpoint, I want to make it very clear that once you have already left an abusive relationship and you are in the process of healing and you're dating someone, this is where these tools are going to come in handy. So she wants the marriages to stay intact. We all do. But I need to emphasize that marriage counseling cannot happen in an abusive, toxic relationship. This is only once you have already left the abuser and you've already sought counseling for yourself, you're plugged into a church, you have healthy outlets, and then you want to start thinking about dating. Maybe you are already engaged with someone and you're ready to take that second step. But just remember that she is coming from a place where both are non-abusive. So this is very important for me to state.
Agreed.
And then, yeah.
Yeah, the idea is that it's a healthy marriage.
Correct.
A healthy marriage.
Correct.
Also, in my work, I don't believe that sometimes when you get into counseling, you have to be careful because people, you're brought together, but the individual work is not done, right?
Most of the time, right?
Right. So I don't believe in that. I believe that each person needs to see me individually. Each person needs to deal with their triggers individually and resolve it.
Yes.
And then after that, then we can come together, right? And I can give them skills because their triggers aren't at a 10 anymore. They're at a 1 or a 0.
I get that.
Right?
Yeah.
But absolutely, they need
Okay.
to be able to work on themselves for sure.
So can you take us to like a practical situation where, like, for example, with a survivor, she's having that low self-esteem. She's working on finding her value again, who she is, her own identity, her own personality. Because when you are in these toxic relationships, you're so wrapped up in your partner's needs, you lose yourself. And you're agreeing with me. Is there something that you're thinking about that you want to let the survivors know
Well, it's
within
so
this
funny
modality?
because our exercise is going to be touching on that.
Oh,
today.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool.
But yeah,
We
I
have an
mean,
exercise.
obviously, that has to be picked up, right? You have to be able to pick that up. And when it comes to value, that is not anything anybody can give you. That is something that has to come from yourself. And we know that it gets hard sometimes, which is why we lean on Christ, right? Which is why it always comes back to God, because there's so much we cannot do on our own. And also he provides us with everything that we need to succeed. All the tools, all the great communities, all the friendships, all right. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely say seek some sort of coaching and counseling because you shouldn't do it on your own, right? You've probably done a lot on your own right now and it has not been serving you, right? So find a healthy community where they will build you back up.
And it's important to let the counselor know what you need. And do you even know what you need? So that's like a precursor, right? Sometimes
Yeah, I mean,
us
there's
women
right.
coming out of something like that, when we've lost ourselves so deep in, we know we need help, but sometimes we don't understand exactly like what the root of it is. So you as a counselor, would you be able to draw out, can you pick up on certain things while you're having these conversations with them?
It's amazing. So with the modality I use with NLP, there's a big focus on the unconscious mind, right? Because we know we have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. The unconscious mind stores our memories, it stores our beliefs, right? Our mindset. So what happens is when you sit down in an environment, the words, they repeat themselves without you even realizing, right?
In your mind?
So if I were to have a conversation with you and I started asking you questions, what I'll start to recognize is a pattern of I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm doing it by myself, I'm tired, right? Like I don't feel confident.
There's a repetitive
theme that keeps showing up.
That makes
And
sense.
so it's really, really cool to see because I'm able to pick up the deeper things because the unconscious mind is doing the work.
I see. And that's kind of like the driving force is the unconscious mind kind of like taking the wheel.
So they
even
say
though
that
we think we are.
the conscious mind is the goal. It's the goal setter, right? But
The goal what?
The goal setter.
Setter. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The unconscious mind is the goal getter. So if there's anything that you want to do, right, you have to have buy-in in your beliefs within your unconscious mind for it to be habit, for it to be easy, for it to be automatic, right? So we see it all the time where we're like, I'm going to use something not related to abuse if that's okay, but like weight, right? I want to lose weight, right? That conscious mind knows, all right? And they may know why, but the unconscious mind is saying food gives me comfort, right? I'm safe with this.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So until the unconscious mind catches up and says, no, I want to be healthy because I want to be able to run around with my kids, right? I want to be able to be at their weddings. Like that, there needs to be a deeper driver that the unconscious mind now can go ahead and get, right? You have to give it instruction. It needs to be
They
connected.
have to be connected, working in unison. Okay. So could you give us an example of like a homework assignment that you would give someone just to give a survivor an idea of something maybe they can utilize or a little tool they can use in their car
I
or
would
at the
say the easiest place to start is journaling.
Okay.
Right? Because the more you write, the longer you write, guess what taps in? The unconscious mind, right? So you start pouring your heart out, and we talked about the themes. You'll start seeing things that you're like, oh, that's a big deal. Like that came out of me? Okay. Do I want to live with this anymore? Like, is that going to be a problem if I hold on to this? Is that a problem for me? Is that a problem for my kids? Is that a problem for my community? Right? And so when you have that down, it's no longer like, oh, I forgot about it or it came and went. No, you have proof, and you can take that and better yourself with it.
Okay. So for those of you that don't write, because I'm not a big writer, I do dabble a little bit, but some people like to sing, or some people like to paint, or there's other hobbies. So what she's saying is whatever you're doing, you gotta like really kind of be outside of yourself and pay attention to what you're doing and like what you're saying over and over, whether it's in a song or in a drawing or in words, anything, right?
I mean,
kind of like the pattern that we were talking about.
I mean, I think that with writing, like just journaling, right, just jotting down, with singing too, right? They're still writing lyrics.
Still writing.
Right. You're going to see a
painting, but
with painting, it depends, right? If they start labeling them. They start labeling them and you start seeing a pattern.
Images, but what if there's the same image that keeps popping up?
Exactly. Yeah.
Because obviously
it's not been resolved.
Right. Okay. Got it. Cool. Yeah, that's really interesting. I love that. So can we get into an exercise?
Okay.
I'm excited.
I'm excited too. This all worked out because one of the things I recognize as value is a big deal, right, for all of us. But when you have been in an abusive relationship, it takes a whole, it pulls you down, right? When you have been in an abusive relationship, and you have to refine like who you are and your identity and your value. And I know empowerment is also a really important thing,
it's huge.
Right? That you encourage, your viewers to live and be empowered. And so I wanted to leave you guys with something that would empower you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So.
Thank you, Meisha.
Of course.
That's cool.
All right. So I want you to close your eyes, and I'm going to close my eyes with you.
Okay.
And I want you to see yourself, but I want you to float up in a way where you're looking down on yourself, and you see your insecurities and your challenges, and you see your strengths, and you see your hope. And I want you to look to the right of you, and there I want you to see Jesus. And I want you to see what he sees from you, your identity, your purpose. And I want to take you guys on a quick journey. So you and Jesus are going to go to somewhere in the near future, right? I want you to find a place in the near future where you feel as though you're ready to receive his truth and his word in your life. And when you get there, we're going to start pouring into you. So Jesus sees you, and he's telling you you are worthy. And I want you to start to receive that for yourself. Regardless of what anybody has told you, regardless of what you have felt in the past, now you have the chance to make it new. So as you are seeing yourself, I want you to start filling yourself with worth. You are worthy. And as you imagine the worth, I want you to imagine it growing inside of you, like it's radiating in your body. And I want you to make that picture even bigger and brighter. And each time you brighten it, you feel the glow inside of you, the worth inside you turn on and get stronger and stronger. And I want you to see now Jesus wrapping you with love. From the bottom of your feet to the top of your head, he's just wrapping you with love. You are worthy of love. You are strong. You are beautiful. You are bold. So the love that you now feel, I want you to really believe it for yourself. You are worthy of self-love. And not because anybody said so, but because you said so, because God said so, and he's speaking into your life now. So that love, I want you to get like a close-up shot of it. And I want you to start to notice, what do you hear now? What are things that you hear now? What did you need to hear about love? What have you been desiring to hear about love that you can now receive for yourself? Speak it to yourself. And I want you to hear Jesus. I love you. I love you. You're worthy. You're worthy. Yes. Just as you are. Yes. Just as you are. And because this is so good, and because you need this in your life, I want you to take a picture of it. Can you see it? Take a picture. And I want you to put a frame around that picture that nurtures this new belief of your worth and your love, that holds in this truth of what God has told you about your worth and your love. And take that picture and hold it close to you. And I want you and Jesus to come back to the present. And as you come back, I want you to notice all of the truths that you didn't see before. You're worthy just as you are. You're loved just as you are. You're respected. You belong. You have a purpose. And when you get there, I want you to take that precious picture, the truth of who you really are, and I want you to look at it, and we're going to breathe. We're going to breathe into it now, because now, here in the present, it belongs. And as we breathe, I want you to breathe with me. We're going to breathe on their worth. You are worthy. We're going to breathe on their love. All the love you know that belongs to you. And this now can be tucked into your heart. Just let it go. Let it sink inside your body. And you know now that your unconscious mind has left it there just for you, that Jesus has made this just for you to hold on to and to know your worth today. All right. And that, just go ahead, open your eyes and receive that for yourself.
It shall be done.
It shall be done.
Yes. That was beautiful.
Good.
Can I give you a hug?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. A song just came into my head when you sang that. It's by a Christian artist. Her name is Tasha Cobbs.
Yes.
And the song, He knows my name, know how He walks with me, and know how He talks with me. And this is so amazing that I am His own. So now I walk with Him every day, and I just change the lyrics in every way. But He knows my name. That was the song towards the end of the exercise, and I was his little girl, and he was in his robe, and I was a little girl. He was just holding my hand. We were just walking, and all the colors and all the lights from what you told me to receive was shooting out into the world, into the universe. Yes. Right? So I was like, and then like when he's holding me, his light was coming through me.
Amen.
And it was a continuous flow of light and love, light and colors and colors and colors. Yes. Wow. God is so good.
Yeah. I wanted this to be something too that you know you can always go back to. Yeah. It's always with you. You know how to do it. You know how to call on God and to remember who you are.
That was beautiful. Do you do this with your clients, this particular exercise? Believers, I'm
You
not
know,
sure.
I do sometimes, but there's a
Okay.
lot of really other amazing things that continue to build up his people.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Meisha.
You're welcome.
Meisha Marshall with Renew Mindset Coaching. How can survivors get in touch with you?
Well, you're more than welcome to check out my website. It's renewmindsetcoaching.com. And I have free coaching sessions on there for anybody who's interested in learning a little bit more or wanting to work through something, really quickly with me.
Awesome. Do you have something for our survivors?
Oh, well, I mean, absolutely. It's the same thing for your survivors. Because I want you guys to know that you can reach out to me. And a lot of you guys, I know that I focus on married couples who are adult children of divorce, but that is for a lot of you too. A lot of you whose mothers have gotten out, right? And who, for a good reason, made it so that you had a safer environment. You still have your own struggles and battles, and it shows up in your marriage. And so whether this is just for you or whether you want your marriage to be stronger because maybe you both have come from a broken home and you guys want to do better by yourself and by your kids, I want to be a resource for you.
Yeah, it's all about mindset, thriving,
yes.
knowing your worth, your value, that you are loved beyond measure by God.
Amen.
Yeah, he's got so many, and he puts his people together. He brings us together as a community.
He does.
And that's one of the things that was just apparent right now, because I never would have known about this exercise if I wouldn't have brought you in to the podcast. And I think it's been very valuable because survivors, you can rewind as much as you want. You can go back to this. Be like, oh, I remember Meisha's episode. That exercise was so beautiful. I want to use it on myself. I want to use it on a friend.
Exactly. Somebody needs to hear this
Absolutely. Today. Absolutely. Thanks again, hon.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you. God bless you.
God bless you.
And thank you so much for being out in the community and helping others, because we need more people like that.
Well,
Selfless.
I can say the same to you because what you do is amazing.
Thank you.
And I hope it reaches the four corners.
Yeah. Speak it.
Amen.
Speak it.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Survivors, it's been another wonderful episode. I'm sure that you've gotten a lot out of it as we did. We love you. Stay safe. Don't forget that God is with you. He is not letting you go. He is using his people to pierce into your heart and your mind and to start shifting into this wonderful healing journey he has for you. God bless you. And until next time, survivors, don't forget to thrive. Mwah.